at a true Georgian sash window, you've got smaller panes of glass, and there's a couple of factors for that. Is if you look back in history, King William III introduced a window or glass tax at that point. Then when that was abolished, there was a window glass tax introduced, and the inability to produce large panes of glass, etc. So if you look at it from a timeline, you've got the inability to produce large panes of glass, hence the smaller panes of glass, and you've got your glass tax and your window tax, and hence the term daylight robbery. So if you go around some of the old buildings, you'll see cleverly some windows bricked up. They're recessed and bricked up. That was done for a purpose, because it was cheaper to brick it up than pay the window or glass tax. Typically, another thing on a Georgian window to look out for is it wouldn't have no horns, and I'll explain that in more detail on the Victorian sash. But if you look at this in detail, and it's a sample I have made up so I can show you guys. Primarily you've got your verticals of the sash coming down, then a typical Georgian window is very narrow, the mid-rail is very narrow, and it's got a down that holds it together. So it's an animal glue that's on the joint, and also a dowel that goes through there to hold the joint together. So that is what primarily you see. So when we go around to look at windows, this area, because it's aged a lot, the dowel's gone rotten, or there's water ingress that's got in there over a number of years, rots the window. So hence, when we go around and technical, or where we do a technical, we have to look around these areas for any rot or wood degradation. If we go up to then the ability to produce large panes of glass and the abolishment of glass and window tax, we go on to the Victorian period. So if we look at this area here, it's very weak. What holds it together is the glazing bars, because the verticals would be in one piece, so you've got the strength in this window holding it all together. However, if you take those glazing bars out and put a large pane of glass here, the weight and stress on this already damaged joint, it will twist or won't hold it together. So what happened in the Victorian period, to make that area stronger, you had a detail like that. So the downward pressure, you had larger mid-rail area to make it stronger, but you also had a tenon joint that goes through the vertical stiles and is held together by a larger piece of wood at the bottom. So primarily that was done for strength. Then, because if I hide that and turn that over, you'd have a horrible bit of wood or not aesthetic pleasing piece of wood there. So this is why you get quite a few details of the horn detail. So all that was to do is decorative, to try and make this joint look tidier.